Hey guys, Matthew here from StalloneMedia, and we're just doing an update on the Avata. And we listened and read all your comments, and I get it, I understood. You really love the music, you want it louder! No problem. All right guys, in all seriousness, we really appreciate the comments and we take your advice seriously.
It's called bold. On water it can fall. I smell like a gold.
So we will make it a little bit louder for you. But that being said, it's Avata time. We did a whole bunch of updates on the Avata itself. In terms of flying, I still love it. Andrew has some bugs about it that he doesn't like, but I'm flying it mostly and I think it's fantastic. I've recommended this to a lot of my colleagues and they tell me the same thing. They just love it. So this video is all about is going to talk about what we did to the Avata to upgrade it and to update it, and want to share this video with you. So the first thing that we did is I got an awesome case off of Amazon that actually houses the total Avata system. Now, as you can see here, the case fully fits the Avata plus the goggles. Now, on the video that we did, we didn't have the actual new goggles. They were behind on shipping. So we do have the version 3, the new ones. We did get the actual controller. Everything is all set up, but let's talk about what we actually did to the Avata itself. So one of the major upgrades that we really did to the Avata is to be able to have the ability to shoot vertical mode and also be able to have a little bit longer battery life when we're putting the camera on top. We were using things like the Instago 2 or the GoPro, and when you mount the GoPro on top, it really just made the drone fly a little bit too heavy. So the first thing that we did is we actually purchased the bones. Now this bones was the first thing that we mounted on top. So how do we do that? Well, we had to get a mount. So we ended up getting something off of Etsy, and this thing here just basically clips on like that, and then you can actually mount the GoPro on top of here. What I did was I actually glued and made a vertical mount for the GoPro so that I can mount this on in its actual vertical format like that. Now this has to get powered. So in order to mount this and have it powered, I actually opened up the Avata. I found a video on YouTube and it showed how to wire this up. So as you can see here, I got a wire that dangles out of the side, and I have 2 connectors here, and that's because I have 2 different cameras that I can attach to this. This is hardwired inside internally and it goes right to the battery pack at the back. This has been one of the best things that I've done as an upgrade. Now there is the GoPro Mini that's out there, and I've seen some videos out there which you can mount the Mini on top and it flies well, and you can totally do that. I wanted to keep this very light so that it flies a lot better. So we ended up getting something from Flywoo, and this is the GoPro 11 Bones version. Basically, they've totally stripped down the GoPro 11 and they put it into this really thin, compact body, and it has a fan built into the back. So the cool part about using the Hero 11 is that you can actually just mount it in horizontal format and get either vertical or horizontal by using the 8:7 ratio. So there are places that you can actually buy a stripped down version of the GoPro Hero 11. I decided to go with the Flywoo system, and I purchased this. I bought a different mount. I found it on Etsy, and this basically just allows me to clip it right in. I can mount it horizontally, but because I'm using the 8:7 aspect ratio, I'm able to get horizontal and vertical videos all in one. And it's lightweight, so it doesn't disturb the flying ability of the Avata. I just basically hardwire this right into here, and off I fly. So this has been one of the best things that I've done to upgrade the Avata. I'm gonna show you some footage that we took at the same house the other day to show you the 2 examples from the Avata and from the GoPro Hero 11. Now, one of the other things that I changed also on the Avata is I changed the aspect ratio to 4:3 to allow us to also get vertical and horizontal, to give you guys an example of what the 2 looks like in the quality. The Hero 11 with 10-bit color depth allows you to get more information and get true better quality and color. All right, guys, so that's why I highly recommend getting the GoPro Hero 11, because I can actually make one flight and be able to get 2 aspect ratios, which is great for Instagram, and if I need it for MLS video as well. So one of the other things I'm going to highly recommend that you're going to want to purchase, especially if you're flying this for outside, would be the filter system. I ended up picking up a set from Flywoo that we put onto the camera when we know we're going to be flying it outside a lot. Usually when we're flying it inside, we're not really using the filter system. If I know that I'm going in to out, I might put like an ND4 on there just to help, but ultimately it's going to be with no filters when we're flying it on the inside. So one of the last little things that I purchased was this 3D printed battery lock. Now, why is it important? Well, if you're flying it and for whatever reason it crashes, the battery will disconnect sometimes from the Avata. So you're not gonna be able to find it, you're not gonna hear it, you can't flip it over because that battery actually came out. So this thing here, really cool, it just locks into place and it makes sure that that battery stays into place so it can't pop out. All right, guys, one last piece of advice for you would be get more batteries. This thing flies amazing. Yes, it lasts up to about 20 minutes, but the thing is, they also take really long to charge. So being able to have extra batteries gets us be able to fly more, get more content, and ultimately not have to worry about running out of time. All right, guys, so again, my overall opinion is I love this thing. I think especially for beginners or people that know how to fly drones, but they're not really the FPV flyers, I think this thing is fantastic. Andrew doesn't particularly like it. He finds that the sensors on it help stop him from flying in certain things because it actually stops and he feels like there's a little bit of a pause. Everybody has their own personal preference. Again, for me personally, I think this is a great item. I think it's great to add to your toolbox. And overall, if you like flying drones, this thing is super easy to do. So one other thing I wanted to mention that I did post in the first video is that we actually put the Instago 2 on top of the drone. Now at the time I didn't have the mount, so we actually just stuck it on with the little sticky there, and there were some micro vibrations that we're seeing in the video itself, so we wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. By having this mount on there now and being able to mount the Instago on top and lock it into place, totally cleared up those micro jitters. So we actually do fly with the Instago 2 on top, depending on what we're shooting and what kind of space and height we need, but it does not give you micro jitters. So I just want to make that clarification because I know in the first video there were some comments that talked about it, and you're correct, there was micro jitters, but there isn't anymore. All right, guys, so that's the update on the Avata. Sorry it took so long, we've been super busy, but I want to kind of give you an update on what we've done with the Avata itself and the extra mounts and equipment. If you have any other questions that you'd like us to do with the Avata through real estate, be sure to leave the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe.
This residence is the epitome of opulence and grandeur.